I love my pocket cubes. So let's start with what they are. Okay, pocket cubes are these squishy things. Do you see how squishy they are? They're soft, and I like them because they are soft, and if they hit someone in the head, they don't hurt. And ask me how I know this, because I've been hit with them many times over the years. And because they are soft and they are foam on the inside and just plastic on the outside, or just like vinyl on the outside, they also don't make any noise. So any of you who have taught for any length of time know that noise in the classroom can be an issue. So anything I can do to make it a little quieter is something that I am going to do. Hey, I'm ready. Nadine says, I'm ready to dive in and use all these amazing ideas. Wow, that's awesome. Gloria says, watching from Iowa. Yeah, hey, Anne Marie is in the house. We have some tribe members here. Some of our teaching tribe members are in the house. Welcome, everybody. Come on in and get comfy. I'm Vanessa Levin from Pre-K Pages. If you know anybody out there who might, in your teacher life, who might be interested in learning more about pocket cubes, then go ahead and share this broadcast with them. I see Judy is in the house, another teaching tribe member. Awesome. There's another Judy in Iowa. Laura in Chicago. Kelly says, Pete the Cat. Yes. If you haven't seen my Pete the Cat broadcast, maybe Tom can drop a link for you. I don't know if he has it with him right now, but yes, Pete the Cat is at Kohl's. So you can learn more about that in that broadcast I did on Saturday. Okay, so let's dive into the pocket cubes. So I like them because they're soft. I like them because they can't hurt. They're also very, very durable. I've had this pocket cube for years, seriously years. These pocket cubes can withstand a beating, and anybody who teaches preschool, pre-K, or kindergarten knows that the materials that we use in our classrooms need to be able to take a beating because they get used a lot. So these things last forever and ever. This is like clear vinyl right here, so if it gets dirty or sticky or anything, you just wipe it off with a sponge. And they're wonderful. I travel with these all over the country when I do my teaching workshops. I actually had somebody once in one of my phonological awareness workshops that I do in person, somebody said, you should really just rename this session to like 101 ways to use pocket cubes. I was like, that's true. It wasn't my intent to make a whole session out of that, but that's kind of how it ended up. And the Lakeshore letter sound tubs, that's another one of my must-haves. Okay, Julia says, yes, we're having a side convo about Pete the Cat. I know he's not everywhere yet. I know. It's hard. I've been to 2 Kohl's. He was at one and not the other. All right. Ooh, Margie's in the house from Minnesota, another tribe member. Okay, so these are just a few of my ideas. I can't do my entire session because it would be an hour long. But here are some of the ways that I have used or enjoy using, or my students enjoy using, I should say, these pocket cubes in the classroom. And Tom, these are also, I believe, in my Amazon store. So if you want to drop a link to that so folks can see what they look like, you can go ahead and do that. Because sometimes people like to either buy it online or they want to look at it and then go to the store. So that way, if you're not sure what they look like, you can get a better idea there. So one of the first things, one of the things that we have over at Pre-K Pages, and this was a contributor post by Susie from Busy Toddler. Susie, if you're watching, thank you so much for your contribution. And this is about song cubes. So using the cube, this pocket cube, for song selection. So a lot of you have probably songs that you sing in your classroom, right? Or a collection of songs that you and your students can choose from after the first few weeks of school once you've grown your repertoire, right? So one of the things you can do in the morning during your morning meeting, or if your circle time, whatever you want to call it, you can have a student roll the cube and pick from one, roll it, and it will show you one of your familiar songs. So that way they still are making a choice. They're getting to throw the cube, which is also sanctioned throwing. What could be better? And you can put some of your familiar ones in there. So Susie has created this printable for us here. It has other things on it. It has other songs. It has London Bridge, Bingo, Yankee Doodle Dandy, The More We Get Together, oops, things like that. So you can grab that over at Pre-K Pages if you want it. And of course, you're always, oh wait, where did it go? You're always welcome to do what I do a lot. I am a big, I have them here, but I couldn't pick them up. I'm a big advocate of index cards because you can get them for like 50 cents at the back to school sales, and a Sharpie. And I often just whip up my own cards really quick and impromptu and stick them in the pocket cube because it doesn't matter if it's really pretty or if it's a cute printable like this, it still gets the same kind of engagement and reaction from the children. So Pamela says she loves them. Awesome. Okay, so that is the first one. That's from Susie at Busy Toddler. She was a contributor at Pre-K Pages, and she shared this activity with us, and Tom will drop a link to that for you in the comments below. These are sized to fit nicely into the pocket cube, so if you wanted to get an idea of the size so that you could make your own, you could do that too by printing that out. So that's the first one, using them as song cubes. And what I like about I put something different in each pocket so that I could just turn it and show you, and now I can't find them. But you can change these out. I probably should have mentioned that. So this is just clear vinyl in the front, and you can just change the pictures out. And usually when you buy these cubes, you buy them in a set of, it depends on what brand you buy or where you buy them, but they usually come in packs of 2, 3, or 4. So I always have at least 2 going on in my room every day because I use them for math and literacy and song cubes, so you can see why buying them in a pack is a good thing. Like I said, they last forever. Okay, so the song cubes is one idea, right? That's just one idea. Another one that I wanted to show you, and this is a contributor post at Pre-K Pages from Kathy Griffin of Kathy Griffin's Teaching Strategies. And this was a Move Like a Zoo Animal printable. And so what Kathy has here is she has put some images from different zoo animals here, and then you can cut them out and place them in your pocket cube. And so here, I love this activity because you could do it for a lot of different things. Hop like a kangaroo. So climb like a koala, chomp like an alligator, scratch like a monkey, run like a cheetah, and drink like an elephant. Now, could your kids use a little extra movement in their life? So this would be something that you could break out. It doesn't have to be during a zoo theme. It could be really any time because kids like animals, right? You could do it after you read a book that has animals in it that are wild animals. And then you could invite the kids to, I mean, this is going to be language development, gross motor skills, listening and following directions. So many different skills are covered when you do stuff like this. And you could use any animal that you wanted. Yeah, very active, right? And you can invite somebody to come up and roll the cube and be the model for the other students. So if they roll this one, we're practicing vocabulary, right? What's a kangaroo? And then we're adding the movement. The child that rolled it can be the model for the class. And they just love these types of games, right? Claire says her kids love. Yes, I know, Claire, isn't that awesome? Yes. Yeah, Sherry, they're really, the possibilities with these cubes are endless. I mean, that's why I like them so much. They're very versatile. Another one that I like, lost my list because I know I'm going to forget one. Oh, this is a no-brainer, really. I like to use them as dice, right? So this is my super fancy index card with a Sharpie marker. And so I just made the dots and I stuck them in here. And now when we do our ice cube tray games or anything like that, we use this. And it's good for teaching them how to roll the dice in the beginning of the year because that's not really a natural skill, like to actually just kind of toss it gently because they all want to just go, but we like to use this one. Also, I really like for the kids to be able to touch each thing. And when you use a small dice, the pips on the dice are really too small for them to do one-to-one on when we're talking about one-to-one correspondence. So I really like to use the bigger cubes so they can really touch in the beginning of the year. Of course, we're eventually working up to subitizing, but not all of my kids start the year being able, well, most don't, being able to subitize. It's something we have to work up to. And so this would be like scaffolding for support to let them. Claire says index cards and Sharpies are a must. I know, like when they give you your classroom, they should just give you certain things, you would think, like Sharpies and index cards. Yeah. Yes, and I also do the same thing. Dawn had a great point. My kids in the beginning of the year, having a dice that has up to 6 pips on it does not work for my kids in the beginning of the year. Most of them can only count like this with 1-to-1 up to 3. So then I take the other 3 sides of the cube that should have 4, 5, and 6, and I put 1, 2, and 3 in them again. So their only choices when they roll are 1, 2, and 3. That works out really well for me in the beginning of the year. So yeah, that's a great idea. Okay, the next one. Okay, let me just turn the cube and go that way because trying to look at the list and then find it on the cube is too hard. Goals, teacher goals. Stickers. Okay, you guys, these are stickers. So I have a junk box full of stickers. They just, whenever I come across stickers, you know, here and there and everywhere, I throw them into a box because I like to use them in the art center. They're awesome for kids to make sticker stories with or to decorate their creations. I use them for all kinds of things, and they're great for fine motor practice too. So I found these stickers in my stash. You can use any sticker you want. And now I put them as the pips on the dice, right? And so I made, using my index card, I made a set using the stickers. So any old stickers you have, the Dollar Tree always has the star stickers. They always have no, I shouldn't say always, but they usually have these types, like of these incentive type stickers. Like recently I saw a camping set there. So you could turn if you were doing a camping theme, you could do that in your pocket cube for math, for your dice. Any old stickers that you have laying around. And if you wanted to make them thematic, like these are all like transportation stickers, you could totally do that too. So, you know, I like it because it's like, these stickers are probably, I'm going to say 15 years old. They're left over from something I did like 15 years ago. They're just like the odds and ends in this junk box. And yeah, so there's plenty of them to make dice with, right? So yeah, stickers are your friend. Sharpie is great too. Another one is syllables. I don't know if any of you out there, if you're working on phonological awareness skills with your kids, then you're going to want these movement cards. Okay, here it is. So in some of my thematic packets in my store, I have these movement cards in the syllable activities. So my literacy packets all have phonological awareness activities in them. Something for syllables, something for rhyming, something for beginning sounds. And these are the movement cards. So these movement cards, this one right here, the girl is clapping, if you can see that. And then I didn't cut the other ones out because I was only using one side, but they're touching the sky, touching their toes, touching their knees, touching their head, and then of course stomping or jumping. I think that's stomping. So when we do the syllable games, I didn't cut these out either, but they can pull a card, right? And they can identify how many syllables it has. So let's say they got the flashlight. That's 2 syllables. And so now they can roll the cube and see what thing they need to do twice. So let's say they rolled clapping. They pulled the flashlight card and they go flashlight, right? Okay. Super fun. Super, super fun. They love that. syllable movement cards. I have these in some of my packs in my store. Oh yeah, Judy, you can use these cubes for everything. Seriously, everything. Yeah, and the cubes, Andrea has a good point. Sometimes when you buy them, they come with cards in them. Not always. It depends on what brand you get, right? I think the photo cubes, I think that's what this one is. They all look the same. I think they're all made by the same company, but it's just how they're packaged, you know, and sold. I think this one was just considered a photo cube, like to put photographs in for like babies and stuff. And it didn't come with any prepackaged cards, but some of the sets do, but it's mostly just like the dots and letters or pictures or whatever. So not all of these different games or anything. So that's one. Syllable movement. I talked about the zoo animal roll and move. Oh, rhyming is another one. Do I have the rhyme in here? I know I do. Ah, there it is. See, I said I should look at the cube and not the list. And so here, I have these in a lot of my packs too. I think some packs, not all. But all you have to do is take out some rhyming pictures and put them in the cube. The kids roll it, and then they have to generate something that rhymes with it. Now, this is a higher level rhyming skill, so your kids at the beginning of the year, generating a rhyme is not going to be something they're going to be able to do. But later in the year, you could try this with scaffolding for support. So this would be like a small group activity where you were sitting with them because they're going to need some support with that. But this is a bat, so if somebody rolled the cube and this bat showed up on top, you could ask the children in your small group, what rhymes with bat? And of course, you've been working on rhyming all year, so they'll have some type of reference. If they say, I don't know, which is possible, you'll say, well, let's think about it. Bat and house. Do those sound the same at all? Bat and house. No, probably not. What about bat and cat? Do those sound alike at the end? Do you hear that? Bat, cat. I heard that at the end. Did you hear that? Bat and cat rhyme. Let's say them together. So, I mean, that's just, yeah. So the cube would have 6 different basic, I try to pick like the most basic pictures that I can find. And I have, I think I have these in some of my packs. I can't remember. And like there's a little bear, they could rhyme that with chair. There's a little dog, they could rhyme that with frog or log. There's a fan, they can rhyme that with can. And a hat. And a bee. These are my favorite pictures to use for rhyming because they're very, very clear and simple. Of course, you can always use photographs. The photographs are always going to be the be-all, end-all. Where can I find the printables? So, who was that? Joanne. Some of these, Tom has been dropping links for you. So, for example, the movement pictures here where the kids are clapping and touching their toes. This one comes from my Community Helpers Literacy Packet. So, a lot of my literacy packets will have these. So if you go to Pre-K Pages and you type in Community Helper Literacy, this one will come up. Of course, the members of our teaching tribe always have access to all the printables at Pre-K Pages 24/7 at their fingertips. And then when we're done, Joanne, you can go back and scroll through the comments, and Tom has posted links to these on my blog. This is a freebie, a contributor post from Kathy Griffin at Kathy Griffin's Teaching Strategies, and that lives at Pre-K Pages. Or you could go there right now and you can type in zoo animal movement or zoo animal printable. And then this is also, this song one is also free printable at Pre-K Pages. And Tom has put a link for that in the comments, or you can go into Pre-K Pages and type Song Cube into the search box. That's how I found it. Yeah, sorry, during lives, Joanne, the links don't always work because that's just Facebook for you. Okay, I want to make sure I got all sides of the cube. So there's the zoo animal roll and move. stickers, super easy. A Sharpie and an index card, I know, high tech, right? The movement, syllable movement game. Yeah. Song cube. And rhyming, okay? But there's more. I didn't make this one for you. I didn't have time to make this one for you. But this one is just, we call it Race to the Top. That's just the name of the type of game that it is. I know that some of you probably know this game. It's been around forever and a day. But it's a grid, and I didn't even print the grid out, but it's a grid of 6 across. So there's 6 columns, right? And it's about 5 rows, right? And so you identify 6 letters that you want your kids to play this game with, and you write those 6 letters on your index cards and you put them into your cube. And once you have that, the kids take turns rolling the cube. And then in your grid, you've put, like, let's say you're working on A, F, K, P, W, and Z. They roll the cube, they get an A, they go to the column that has the A written at the top, and they do a bingo dauber in the first row. And I have a Race to the Top. I forgot to give that link to Tom, but there is a Race to the Top game, a picture of it in action at Pre-K Pages. So Tom, if you want to look for Race to the Top, it's a really, really old blog post, but it's really popular. So I don't know why. Tom can drop a link to that so you can get a better idea of how Race to the Top works. Or if you've played it before, let us know in the comments if you like Race to the Top. My kids loved Race to the Top. So think about how many letters are in the alphabet, and your cube only has a certain number of spots, right? So you can play the game many different ways because you can change up the letters. So if I had a group of kids that I knew none of the kids in that group knew the letter F, then I would make sure that the F was in their grid template, right? Ice cube tray games, well, you're in luck, Stacy, because I actually have those right here for another purpose entirely, but so I found these ice cube trays at Walmart. They actually came with another row at the top, but because they're this type of material, what is that, silicone, I cut that row off and now I have a 10 frame. Yay, yay me. And then we roll the dice, right? Or your cube. And let's say they rolled a 1, they would put 1 little manipulative here in that space. And then they pass the dice around, they take turns rolling, and whatever they roll, they put in their tray and they keep playing until it's full. So they don't take things out and then you wait for their turn and then roll and put things in. They just keep playing. This is like their game board, and when it's full, they're done. So that's the ice cube tray game. But I definitely do use these cubes for that. And we talked about Race to the Top, stickers, animal movements, syllables, rhyming, and the dots in the song cube, right? I think those are all that I have right now. I have like a ton more, but I don't want to take up all your time. Oh good, Samantha's here and she said, my kids love Race to the Top. We've done it with thematic words, pictures, numbers, colors, goldfish crackers for Dr. Seuss week. Yeah, you can, that game is so, it's just a grid. It's just a grid on paper. I mean, seriously, you go to Word, insert template, right? Or insert grid and select your columns and rows, and then you've got it. And then I just write the letters in with a Sharpie and then print that out for the kids. And so, yeah, it's super easy. And you can do, like she said, numbers, colors, all kinds of stuff, words, pictures. Jen says, my kids love Race to the Top and Fill the Ice Cube Tray. We play these all the time. Yes, these are great games that you can play all year long, right? Because when we change up, like in the Ice Cube Tray game, when we change up the manipulative, we change the game. So children, they think that they're playing a new game, and it keeps it engaging and exciting for them by changing up the letters, like in the Race to the Top, changing up the things that you use in the cube, changing up any aspect of it makes it new and exciting again. Race to the Top works for a lot of, it sure does, works for a lot of concepts. You could use it for colors. I know that recently in the spring, I used it for a color counting game that I made. I didn't put this one in the Pocket Cube list, but it's another one that lives at Pre-K Pages, and it has the little cards for the cubes. And this was a spring counting game, I think, or spring color counting, or spring Play-Doh counting, something like that. I don't remember, but I have those too. I can't seem to open the link you provided for Race to the Top. Yeah, the links are not live. The links don't work when I'm talking live. When the live video ends, then the links will work. It's just a function of Facebook. So as soon as I'm done talking tonight and I sign off, you can refresh your page or your browser and then come back and the links will be clickable. Jen says, yes, I have every eraser encounter imaginable for the Fill the Tray game. Yeah, I just change up the manipulatives we use. And I remember I use mini erasers a lot, of course. And then I put teddy bears in there, the little teddy bear counters from the Math Center. And the kids were like, oh, you know, like, that's from the Math Center. You could do that with it. Yeah, they were all about that. So those are some activities you can use with your Pocket Cubes. And Tom has dropped all those links for you here. So when you watch the replay, you can click on those. I usually get everything from Amazon. So in my Amazon shop, there is a link to these. And teacher stores carry them too. Teacher stores seem to have become kind of like dinosaurs now that Amazon has kind of taken over that. But yeah, you can see them in my Amazon store. And then if you have a teacher store near you, you can go and look. But yeah, they're not going to sell them at like a toy store or anything. It has to be like a teacher store. Oh, you're very welcome, Melinda. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So that's all I have for tonight. I won't keep you any longer.